on this developing story. Moving on, the Israeli military said that it would strike a range of targets in Gaza in the coming days that it had identified as being used by Hamas, particularly high-rise buildings. This comes as Hamas releases a video showing a hostage whose name has been revealed to be Gilboa-Dalal alongside another captive. According to the reports, the family of the second hostage has asked for him not to be identified. The family of the hostage, Alon Ohel, confirms that he is the second captive seen in the video published today by Hamas. Large protests organized by hostage families are planned across Israel to mark 700 days since Hamas's attack on southern Israel on 7th October 2023. The gathering commemoration of the attack that killed 1,200 and took 251 hostages is scheduled in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem and the southern city of Kiryat Gat. One of the 251 Israeli hostages that were taken into Gaza, 48 are still believed to be held in the strip, with at least 20 thought to be alive after some were released in ceasefire and hostage deals. Yeshaya Rosenman, an Israeli journalist, is on the telecast with me. He's joining me from Jerusalem. Rosaya, situation this tense. There has been domestic turmoil that has only become more palpable as the days have passed by. There are huge protests that are taking place in different parts of Israel. Is this putting immense pressure on the Netanyahu government to strike a hostage deal with Hamas?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, I think it is putting a lot of pressure on Netanyahu government. It also came out that former top IDF officials, Gadi Shamni and Shai Nachman, had actually appealed the Trump government to pressure the Netanyahu government. So they're doing whatever they can. But thankfully, Netanyahu is standing up to this pressure, and he seems to be determined to finish off Hamas. And he seems to be thinking keenly about the day after the war. In other words, finishing the war with the correct results. And the hostages should only be a secondary goal, because the destiny of the entire state of Israel is more important than the outcome of these unfortunate people, very unfortunate people who are suffering as hostages. But the destiny of the state is more important.
Right, absolutely. Talking about, a big statement that has been made, an announcement by the IDF saying that they are in control of 40% of Gaza. What is going to be the key outcome, particularly about, the U.S. intervention? There have been meetings between Steve Witkoff and the Qatari leadership, Qatari delegation, about a hostage deal that can be negotiated between both parties. And is there a likelihood that those hostages, the Israeli civilians and military personnel that at this point in time stay captured with Hamas, are going to be released very soon?
I have been saying this ever since I started coming on this channel, that by definition, releasing all of the hostages is impossible, because the hostages are the most important level, the most important layer of Hamas's layers of human shields. And once the last hostage is released, Hamas releases its last human shield, and Israel can go ahead and crush them definitively. So I think by definition, the hostages cannot be released to the last man, unfortunately, as unfortunate as it is. And I think, first of all, it also should be pointed out that around 20 or a bit less of the hostages are deemed alive. The others are dead bodies. Unfortunately, some of them were kidnapped dead on October 7th. The bodies were snatched on October 7th by the ghouls of Hamas. But I think the people have to keep their sight on the most important goal, which is winning the war. And the hostages, I hope whoever is alive comes out. But like I said, I think it is, unfortunately, but by definition, it is highly improbable.
All right, Rosaya, thank you very much for joining me and sharing your views. I'll shift my focus to the other big news. South Korean workers